Hello, I'm Wizard John, a psychic healer and reader at MERLIN'S WIZARDS LLC in Meriden, Connecticut, USA. I'm here to present a psychic's view of multiple sclerosis. I want to go over A, the purpose of this presentation, B, different categories of illnesses, C, the multiple sclerosis microbe, D, primary triggers of multiple sclerosis attacks, E, curing multiple sclerosis, F, how those with multiple sclerosis can help themselves, and G, I'll finish with some closing comments. A, the purpose of this presentation. Over the years, there have been thousands of articles and reports written about the illness of multiple sclerosis, yet there is still no cure. So, with that in mind, the addition of one more report was deemed to be both needed and justified. Also, I will mention specific ways in which people with multiple sclerosis can help themselves. B, different categories of illnesses. Before we can begin discussing details about multiple sclerosis, we need to recognize that there are many causes of illnesses and that the causes can be grouped into categories. There are 5 main categories of illnesses, including 1. Mental illnesses. Mental illnesses help people learn about and correct their mental errors, mistakes, wrongdoings, etc. Second main category of illnesses are emotional illnesses that are caused by negative emotions. Now, both mental and emotional illnesses are also known as psychosomatic illnesses. The third main category of illnesses are nutritional illnesses that are caused by either nutritional deficiencies or excesses. The 5th main category, that's the 4th main category of illnesses, are environmental illnesses, which includes illnesses caused by contaminated air, like air with asbestos, water, like water contaminated with heavy metals, and land, like land that's radioactive. The 5th main category of illnesses are microbe-related illnesses that are caused by bacteria, fungus, viruses, parasites, etc. Most illnesses fall into one of these categories. Multiple sclerosis falls into 2 of these categories. Multiple sclerosis is both a microbe-related illness as well as a psychosomatic illness. C. Multiple sclerosis microbes. There is a microbe involved with multiple sclerosis, which I will refer to as MSM for short. MSM exists inside the body, mainly in the nervous system, muscles, and blood. It can also exist in feces containing blood and blood waste. In blood, MSM invades, latches onto red blood cells, and can also enter red blood cells. However, the concentration of MSM is extremely small compared to the red blood cells, affecting only about 0.0001% of the red blood cells. Since MSM can exist in blood, it means that it can be acquired by blood transfusions, use of shear needles, and any other way of coming into direct contact with MSM infected blood. MSM does all of the necessary work on the nervous system of the MS patient, so that the body can experience multiple sclerosis attacks or episodes or periods of physical inflexibility that primarily corresponds to mental inflexibility. These changes or modifications to the nervous system can also be viewed in a negative way as damages to the nervous system. Multiple sclerosis episodes are usually temporary, but can last for relatively long periods of time, mainly depending on the patient's state of mind. All multiple sclerosis attacks are triggered by a mental or emotional event. The primary triggers of multiple sclerosis attacks. There are at least 5 multiple sclerosis triggers. The first primary trigger is a mental trigger, while the other 4 secondary triggers are emotional triggers. The first trigger. First trigger is mental inflexibility. In other words, the person has an inability or difficulty in accepting multiple points of view and or other people's point of view. The second trigger is fear. The third trigger is fear of inconsistency. The fourth trigger is fear of being used versus being respected. And the fifth trigger is a combination of anger and frustration. Note, neither anger nor frustration alone can trigger multiple sclerosis attacks. Also, the combination of anger and frustration are only 50% as effective a trigger as fear is. Note, emotional triggers number 2, 3, 4, and 5 are the usual primary triggers for those people who acquired multiple sclerosis from infected blood. E. Curing multiple sclerosis.